Arguments is something that is inevitable amongst couples. Couples are bound to argue, they are bound to dialogue, and then come to an agreement. It is a natural fact when you're married because you and your spouse are coming from two different backgrounds. The way you understand things is different. The way you perceive things is different. The way you do things is different. Now, I tell couples all the time that marriage is partnership. You must listen to understand. You must understand how your partner is wired. Conflict is something that can happen even between you and your sibling. It can happen between your colleagues, between you and your colleagues. It can happen between you and your neighbors. Okay, it's not restricted to the marriage body per se. Now, when you are married and then you have conflicts with your husband or you have conflicts with your wife, it is very advisable that despite the anger, despite the conflict, that you still set boundaries while you are talking to each other. Reason is that even after the conflict, the words that you say, they remain, they linger, okay? Each person takes it to heart. Each person reminisces on the things that was said even after the conflicts. So I always advise, despite the anger, I know that in that momentum of anger, you can say anything. You can say things that you don't mean. You can say things that you will regret later. Yes, we get to that level of anger where we say things that we don't mean. Now, be careful with your words. Try to set boundary with your words. Have what I call mutual respect for each other despite the anger, despite the argument, despite the issue that is on ground. Now, how do you resolve conflicts with your spouse? I teach all the time that marriage is a union of two good forgivers. You must be a good forgiver. You must be willing to let go. There's something about conflict is that the longer you keep it, the longer it strains, the more rather it strains the relationship, it strains marriage, it strains friendship. Okay, now when you are married, even like I said, conflict can happen anywhere. As a human, be willing to compromise, be willing to forgive. I already mentioned that marriage is a union of two good forgivers. Now, if that conflict happens outside marriage or in marriage, be willing to forgive, be willing to compromise. Now, one of the things that you must do as an individual is that you must listen. Now, don't listen to argue, listen to understand what your partner is trying to say, where they are coming from. Listen with intent. Okay, some people will listen, and after the listening, they still go ahead and argue and argue. Listen to understand. Try to compromise. Try to understand where your partner is coming from. In marriage, you must be a child. You must be able to forgive easily. You must be able to respond to forgiveness positively. You must be able to forgive, and then when your partner asks for forgiveness, you should be able to forgive. Okay, now try not to, when do you understand your partner, some things that causes conflict in marriage is that you've not understood your partner. Like I teach, is not the duration of time that the two of you have spent together. No, it is the time that you have spent in understanding your partner, on how they are wired, on how they like things done, on how they respond, on a lot of things, how your partner likes to listen, how they like to be touched, how they like to be understood, the things that gets them angry. When you understand your partner, it makes it a whole lot easier to avoid conflicts. Like I said, compromise, try to forgive. Not try, forgive, and then listen with intent. Listen to understand. Listen so that you can know how to do better. As always, my name is Bina Kenneth. I'm the Big Mama of Africa and your favorite life coach. If you find this video helpful and informative, don't forget to share me out. Stay intentional. Bye for now. See you in my next video.